The wind howled across the jagged cliffs of the forsaken island, a lonely speck of land forgotten by time, nestled in the gray, churning sea. 7 years ago, whispers had spread through coastal villages like wildfire. An eerie tale of 666 dogs, strays and abandoned mutts, rounded up under the cloak of night and shipped off to this desolate place. No one knew why. Some said it was an experiment gone wrong. Others swore it was a curse, a pact with something darker. The dogs, with their matted fur and hollow eyes, vanished into the mist, and the world moved on. But the island didn't forget. It held its secrets close, cradling them in the shadows of its twisted trees and rocky shores. Then, one foggy morning, a group of weathered sailors, drawn by curiosity or fate, steered their creaking boat toward the island. What they found left them trembling, their voices lost to the wind. The dogs were still there, but they weren't the same. This is the story of what happened to those 666 souls, and what it teaches us about survival, loneliness, and the haunting hope that lingers in the wild. The sailors stepped onto the shore, boots crunching against the pebbles, their breaths catching in the cold air. At first, they saw nothing but silence, a stillness so heavy it pressed against their chests. Then a low growl echoed from the trees, followed by another, and another, until the island seemed to hum with life. Eyes glinted in the shadows, hundreds of them, watching, waiting. The dogs had survived, but they'd changed. Their coats were thick and wild, their bodies lean but strong, as if the island had sculpted them into something new. They moved in packs, silent and coordinated, their gaze sharp with an intelligence that sent shivers down the sailors' spines. These weren't the broken strays of 7 years ago. They were rulers of this lonely kingdom, forged by a place that should have killed them. For someone reading this, it's a reminder, even in the bleakest moments, adaptation is possible. Think of that time you felt abandoned, maybe a job loss or a broken friendship. Like those dogs, you can find a way to thrive, even when the world turns its back. But survival came with a cost. The sailors noticed something else, bones scattered across the beach, picked clean and bleached by the sun. Not all 666 had made it. The weak had fallen. There remains a testament to the island's brutal law. Only the cunning endure. It's a melancholy truth, one that mirrors the quiet struggles people face every day. Imagine a single mother, juggling 2 jobs, her dreams fading with each exhausted step. She adapts, she fights, but parts of her slip away, hopes buried under bills and sleepless nights. The dog's story whispers to her, "You're not alone in this." Their survival wasn't pretty, but it was real. You could apply this to your own life, say, cutting out toxic habits. Start small. Swap late nights scrolling for a walk. Let the fresh air clear your head. It's not glamorous, but it's how you build resilience, step by lonely step, just like those dogs did. What struck the sailors most, though, was the dog's eyes, haunted, yet fierce. They carried a weight, a memory of abandonment that hadn't faded. Research from animal behaviorists, like those studies in the Journal of Canine Psychology, tells us dogs never forget the ones who leave them. These 666 had been betrayed, shipped off to die, yet here they were, staring down the sailors with a mix of defiance and sorrow. It's a gut punch of a lesson. Abandonment leaves scars, but it doesn't have to define you. Picture a kid who grew up too fast, maybe bullied or ignored. They carry that ache, but they can turn it into strength. Maybe they start a blog, sharing their story, building a community from their pain. The dogs did something similar, forming packs, finding solace in each other. You can too. Reach out to a friend, join a group. Connection heals, even when the world feels like a cold, foggy island. Yet, there was something unsettling in the air, a shadow the sailors couldn't shake. The dogs didn't bark or wag their tails. They just watched, their silence louder than any howl. One sailor, an old man with salt-crusted hands, swore he saw a figure among them, a shape too tall, too still to be a dog. The others laughed it off, blaming the fog, but his words lingered. Had the island changed more than just the dogs? Was something else watching, waiting in the depths of those twisted woods? The mystery gnawed at them, a quiet dread that followed them back to their boat. For the reader, it's a nudge to look closer at your own life. What's lurking in your shadows? Fear? Regret? Face it. Journal about it, talk it out. The dogs survive by confronting their reality, and so can you. But beware, some truths, once uncovered, can't be unseen. The sailors returned to the mainland, their tales spreading like a ghost story told over flickering campfires. The 666 dogs had become legend, but the island wasn't done whispering its secrets. A year later, a researcher, a wiry woman named Clara, obsessed with the unknown, set out to uncover the truth. She arrived with her notebooks, a camera, and a heart heavy with curiosity. What she found wasn't just a story of survival. It was a descent into something murkier, a puzzle with pieces that didn't quite fit. The dogs were still there, their numbers steady, their eyes still piercing. But Clara noticed something the sailors had missed. Strange markings carved into the rocks, symbols that didn't match any known language. The air felt thick, as if the island itself was holding its breath. This chapter digs deeper into the dog's world, peeling back layers of mystery and offering lessons wrapped in the melancholy of their existence. Clara spent days watching the packs, her pen scratching against paper as the wind tugged at her hair. The dogs moved with purpose, hunting seabirds and small rodents, their teamwork flawless. But it was their rituals that chilled her. At dusk, they'd gather in a circle, heads bowed, a low hum rising from their throats. It wasn't a howl. It was something older, sadder, like a prayer to a forgotten god. Clara filmed it, her hands trembling. Animal behaviorists might call it a pack-bonding instinct, but she wasn't so sure. It felt deliberate, heavy with meaning. For someone out there, this is a mirror. Routine can save you. Think of a guy stuck in a dead-end job, feeling life slip away. He could build his own ritual, maybe 20 minutes of reading each night, stacking knowledge like the dogs stack their strength. Small steps, steady wins. The island taught them that, even if its lessons came with a shiver. The bones Clara found told a darker story. They weren't just from the fallen dogs. Some were too large, too odd. Seal skulls, bird wings, even a human femur half buried in the sand. Her breath caught as she brushed dirt from the bone, the weight of it sinking into her chest. Had the dogs turned predator in ways no one expected? Or had something else brought these remains here? The question hung like fog, unanswered. It's a stark truth for anyone. Survival can twist you. Picture a teen fighting loneliness, maybe cutting corners, lying, cheating to fit in. The dog's story warns them. You can adapt without losing yourself. Try volunteering instead. Help a shelter, walk a dog. It's a lifeline, a way to stay human when the world feels feral. Then there were the markings. Clara traced them with her fingers, their edges worn but deliberate, spirals, jagged lines, a shape like an eye. She cross-referenced them with every book she knew, even old lectures from her university days. Nothing matched. Locals later told her the island had been shunned for centuries, called the Hollow in whispers. Had the dogs stumbled into something ancient, something that woke when they arrived? Her camera caught shadows moving at night, too quick, too tall. She told herself it was exhaustion, but her gut screamed otherwise. This is where it gets real for you, reader. What's the hollow in your life? That nagging doubt, that fear you ignore? Dig into it. Research it. Talk to someone wiser. The dogs face their island. You can face your shadows too. Just don't expect all the answers to be kind. By the time Clara left, her notes were a mess of awe and dread. The dogs watched her go, their eyes glinting in the dusk, that eerie hum fading into the wind. She'd come for answers, but left with questions and a feeling that something was still out there, waiting. The island wasn't just a graveyard for the weak. It was a cradle for something new, something that thrived in the cracks of despair. For anyone reading, it's a call to embrace the unknown in your own story. Start that project you've delayed, take that risk. The dogs did, and they became legends. But legends, as Clara learned, often hide a darker edge, a truth that lingers just out of sight. As Clara's boat drifted from the shore, She felt the island's weight still pressing against her chest. An unfinished sentence, a whisper lost to the wind. The dogs stood silent on the cliffs, their eyes locked on her, as if knowing she'd carry their story now. But as the last sliver of land vanished behind the waves, a single sound cut through the dusk. A low, resonant hum, not from the dogs, but from something deeper, something older. Clara shivered, clutching her notes, knowing she hadn't just documented a legend. She had become a part of it.